Thank you for joining me on today's video. Today we're going to talk about habits that damage the brain. Of course, you know that the brain is the seat of human intellect, so it needs special attention. It's not something that you need to play with. So those habits that damage the brain are: number one, inadequate sleep. So when you talk about inadequate sleep, of course, you know that sleep is very important to every individual because it is during sleep that the brain relaxes very well and the body itself too. So, and it is this sleep that helps the brain to, flush itself out and, get ready for action because, the brain is the seat of human intellect. So, it needs to be relaxed. And then when you don't take enough sleep, then you definitely find out that it's going to affect the brain because at the end of the day, it is going to keep you depressed and maybe you might be feeling a kind of dizzy and you might not be able to concentrate very well on whatever you have for that day to do. Like, being focused on something, focus on what you actually want to do or achieve for that day. There might be some kind of distractions. So the brain needs to, be cooled. So that's why if you're getting inadequate sleep, then you need to improve on that because it's actually affecting your brain. Then the second one is loud music. And of course, everyone knows that noise is not a friend of human. When you want to relax, when you feel like you want to relax or get some rest, of course, you don't need noise around you. So, but this time around, we're, um, we're talking about when the noise affects, the brain. That's when you're using something like your earphone to listen to music. It's definitely affecting your brain because it is that sound that is going to trap, it gets into the ear, and then the brain interprets it. You understand? Because being the seat of human intellect, it interprets everything that enters the ear. So definitely when that sound is very loud, it gets to the brain and the brain interprets it. So you don't need to, put loud music that will disturb your brain because this thing can actually even cause you ear problem of which nobody wants. So whenever you are listening to music with any earphone, make sure that you reduce the volume of that music so that it's not going to affect the brain. Just keep everything normal and average. Then the third one is poor feeding. So people might ask, how does feeding affect the brain? Yes, feeding affects the brain such that when you're eating poor meal, like when your food is not balanced, when your meal is not balanced, the way that it's going to affect the brain is that that food is actually losing some food nutrient. In fact, not just some, many food nutrient because it's going to lack vitamin, it's going to lack minerals, which are the basics of nutrients that helps in the functioning of the body system. So when these nutrients are lacking in your meal, then it's definitely going to affect the general body system, including the brain itself. So one needs to be careful the kind of meal you take. Then another one is when you skip breakfast. Of course, you know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So, and the night is too long. So, you are not advised to, after a long night, you wake up the next morning and you will not take your breakfast. It is not a healthy practice because if you keep skipping your breakfast, it's definitely going to land you to ulcer. And what is this ulcer? It's a condition where the walls of the stomach is being affected by wounds. So, and this also secretes some kind of acid that makes the body, you know, unrelaxed, So you need to, make sure that whenever you're eating, your meals are balanced and don't ever skip your breakfast because all these things affects the brain. Once it gets to the body, before you know it, the brain is being affected. You're not thinking well. You're not focused. You can't concentrate. So these are some of the things that actually affects the brain. So this is all for today's video. I hope this is going to help someone out there. So if you like the video, just smash the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.